Do a quick update on recalls. In fact, did you know we are, as of this morning, we are on our 7th revision for the 68C recall. This is the battery fire risk recall for those of you not aware. And recalls, updates happen very frequently. Sometimes they're just very small changes. The update today makes me think that it might make this a little easier on some of us moving forward. So let's talk about this in a second. I've also been getting a ton of requests, emails, comments about, hey, what's happening with the 78C recall? The short of it is, now the 78C recall is the one where we've got sand left behind in the castings of many of the 2-liter motors in the 4xe system. The short answer is there has been no update. There's no new news. So we're just gonna have to sit tight on that. I'm very curious to see how we're gonna navigate through this one and what the offer is going to be. I don't mean offer is not, but what's the repair going to be? Is it going to only be if we've got failed engines? I don't know. I can make some speculations, but that's all I can do. 78C recall, you guys, we're still lingering. 68C recall, let's go back to that. And I feel like we've literally beaten this to a dead horse, so I'm sorry that we're back here again. But I'm still seeing a ton of people just getting wrong information, or even more importantly saying, I don't even want to do my 68C recall because I'm seeing so many problems after the fact. So let's shine some light on what this is and should you wait for your 68C recall. And those dealers that are telling your customers that the parts aren't in stock, stop. You have parts in stock. You have a computer, you have the parts in stock to do the 68C recall. If your 68C recall fails, then you don't have parts in stock. So please stop telling your customers you don't have parts in stock when you haven't touched their vehicle yet. It's false information. And dealers that are like 5-6 weeks out, I'm not following that either. Weather's warming up in our area. I know there were some hurdles with form and all that. Again, mine failed the 68C. I got my Jeep back. Weather was an issue with battery mode, but didn't go into form, and now it's back in some a little bit warmer weather. We're rolling. I just want to pause for a quick second, just so you guys know this is kind of a hobby for me. I spent a lot of personal time, obviously, creating these videos and putting this content up. So if I've ever helped you, maybe I've answered some questions for you. I know I've taken phone calls. I've done a lot of emails. If I've ever helped you, there's a link below in the description. You can buy me a coffee, help support the channel, and help support the work that I do. So greatly appreciate the effort and greatly appreciate even the comments and shares all make a difference. So thanks. So if you're on the fence about getting that 68C recall done, do it. For one, it's a safety issue. It's a safety recall. And if you're going to charge, please don't post all over social media that you haven't done your recall and you don't care about it and you're going to continue to charge, because if something happens, that is on you 100%. At least that is my opinion at any rate. Why should you not do the 68C recall? I don't know. People are saying they're having issues. Again, most of the Jeeps are passing, and most of them have no issues. It's the people that aren't passing that are having the issues are the only ones we're reading. So out of the 30,000 people on my page and the 30-some thousand people on Chris's page, obviously not everyone is there to say, hey, I've passed. And for that matter, we've been trying to filter the comments so it's just not flooded with 68C stuff. But here's what's happening, and there's an update on the 68C recall procedure. So don't get confused. If you already have the 68C recall done, you are good. You don't have to go back. It's all good. But here's an update on the procedure for those that may be failing after the fact. At least this is my opinion. I'm making speculations. Please read between the lines. I am making my own inferences here, right? So take that for what it is. All right, so you do the 68C recall, you pass or you fail, right? And so for me, I failed didn't even get to the drive cycle, failed it, got a new battery. Now I'm good. Now here's where it gets gray. You pass, they send you down the road and you come back and now you've got a failure 2 days, 3 days later. We're seeing issues where people are saying, I've got no loss of power, I've got this. All of these issues we're seeing, in my opinion, are generally issues because the new software is doing its job, and maybe you didn't fail at the dealership, but now you've met this parameter or you've met this situation that the dealership didn't meet. Not their fault, but in the short little window the dealership was monitoring it, it passed. But now that you're driving on your own, you've got more data. So now maybe you fell outside of the parameters and now you failed 2 or 3 days later. So that is what we're seeing. But again, we're seeing the Jeep do its job now. So now I understand some people's frustrations. Well, now I don't have a choice. I've got to bring it back to the dealer because my Jeep doesn't drive, and now there's no loaner cars. So I do understand I'm afraid to bring it in because if it fails, I don't get a loaner car. I get that, but I will say get the Jeep in. Jeep is reimbursing for loaner cars. For rental cars, find a dealership that's got loaners. I will tell you, Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Fox Lake, they do have loaners. Now they'll try and schedule you accordingly. They're trying to schedule you so they know they do have loaner cars available. But they are doing their best to not inconvenience you as a customer. Mark my word, they've told me that flat out. They're going to do their best to work with you in any way, shape, or form they can to not inconvenience you within their limits. At any rate, so the update today states, well, there's not a whole lot here, to be honest with you, and I'll put this on the screen. So at the time of doing the test, the original 68C recall update, if your vehicle fails, the only way you would get a new battery if there were specific codes that would come up that would say, if you get this code, new battery. This code, new battery. So now we're on revision 7, and the only thing they've changed here is the fact that they've added an additional drive code to the list that would get you a new battery, that would grant you a new battery. So today I see if you have a code P0DAB-00, which is a hybrid EV cell balancing performance code. So right now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 different codes. I think mine, when it failed, was a hybrid battery pack voltage variation code. But now there's variation code, there's state of health failed, there's battery A voltage unstable, battery B voltage unstable, and then you've got this new one, balancing performance. So here is again, I'm totally making speculations, but I'm wondering, are we widening the parameters to make it fail at the dealer so we aren't seeing so many failures in the field? Because if that's the case, that's going to make it a lot easier on the customer, and the dealers aren't going to have these comebacks, right? Which means they leave with a fixed Jeep and come back with a broken one. I think that there's enough of these in the field that they're seeing fails after they left that maybe they've widened this parameter to say, okay, now if you've got this code, you're also getting a new battery. Again, guys, I'm making speculations, please, but it kind of makes a little sense if we widen it, and it's going to give a better customer experience, right? If, for me, honestly, I was glad I failed. I'm like, you know what, good. I failed. It's done. I'm getting a new battery. I'm not worried about it later. Of course, anything can happen later, right? Anything could have happened before the recall. And again, guys, recalls are not just a Jeep thing. Please, everyone's like, oh, another recall for a Jeep. Ford just recalled. All I'm saying is no manufacturer, it's not a bash on Ford, no manufacturer is immune from recalls. Yes, we've had our fair share of them. So what's coming next, I don't know as far as this goes, but I have the sneaking suspicion this will help ease the pain of that what if it fails in the future. Maybe they've widened it. Guys, let me know what you think. Maybe you tell me I'm way wrong here and this has nothing to do with it. I don't know, but I know we've got a lot of texts that follow the page. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And then before we wrap up, we still have the 78C, which is the sand in the motor. And then we've got the A7C, which if you remember was kind of what kicked this whole recall season off for us. A7C was the one that we woke up or came out to our Jeeps that were bricked on that Friday evening due to that over-the-air update. I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen the fix for that one, because of the 3, I would feel that's the easiest one, but that one also probably had the most impact. I would say that A7C, that over-the-air update, actually had more of a direct drivability impact to the customers than any of these other ones. I mean, my Jeep drove perfectly with this 68C and 67C, or 78C, sorry, keep them all straight, recalls, right? The only time in the history of me owning my 4xe, since I've owned a 4xe since 2021, to today, the only time I've ever been crippled in my 4xe was because of that over-the-air update. Obviously, aside the time it's at the dealership for the new battery, but the only time it's ever let me down, truly, like I didn't know if I was going to make it, was that over-the-air update. So that's one I think they probably want to make sure is perfect. Hopefully they've been testing the heck out of it before they push whatever software update was actually supposed to come across in that. We don't know. So that's the updates on the 3 recalls. If you haven't done your 68C, I think it's time to go do it. Go see our friends at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They'll help you with rentals and loaners, and they'll do the best they can. Maybe with adding this new drive code air, maybe it'll loosen up the parameters on who gets new batteries, and we won't have those comebacks, so you don't have to worry. Maybe you're going to tell me I'm way wrong. I don't know. And don't forget to check out my links below. We talk about this Moo Car scanner. I've actually got a coupon code for you guys. We've been selling quite a few of these to the channel. If you buy it from my link, it helps me just a little bit, and you'll save some money too. Thanks for watching. Next stop, Chicago Auto Show. We got lots of good content coming. Oh, and I've got something fun to share in the next couple days about California and the new Jeep Cherokee. We'll see you in the next video.